If you look up addiction in the dictionary, you're probably going to see the Civilization series there. This has been one of the biggest time sinks in the history of gaming, I think. And all of us here at IGN were really looking forward to seeing the next in the series come out. And now it's finally upon us, and we're happy to say that we're really happy with what's here. What we have is a fundamental reinvention of some of the ideas behind the game. You know, there's a lot of the core concepts still in place, but they're all made more intuitive, more realistic, and more fun. You know, Civ 2 and Civ 3 built on the core game by adding more features and increasing the complexity by adding layers, but they were only small improvements in terms of presentation. This time the whole thing has been redone to make it much more accessible and, you know, streamlined so people can really get into it easily and start playing without having to worry about a lot of the crap that came along with the first two. One of the things that makes it so much more easy is the interface. It provides a lot of data in a very less obtrusive format. It looks similar at a first glance to previous games, but you'll find improvements nearly everywhere you turn. In the past, you had to know the output of each terrain type. Now you just get to see the productivity right on the map. Because there's overlays, you can click on little buttons that will show you where all your units are on the map. And, you know, it's just little things like this that actually make the game that much easier to deal with. At the core of the game, as usual, is the fact that you start off with a little settler and maybe a warrior or a scout. And you have to start a civilization and build it up to all the way into the future and try to win in one of several ways. In fact, there's a lot of different ways to win this time around. There's a space race, there's a UN victory, which is diplomatic, there's a culture victory, there's all kinds of ways to win, and that just makes it a little more fun. One of the things you'll be doing a lot, obviously, in Civ 4 is combat, and it's been changed a bit, and it's been changed for the better. Instead of seeing the strength in numbers, you'll see them in actual figures on the screen. It's that, and you don't actually have a defense value anymore. It's just an overall strength value. And now you actually can upgrade your units when they gain up in experience, which wasn't ever a part of the Civilization series, and is a really cool part of it, because now you can upgrade them in several different ways to perform different functions. Combat in general is fun to watch because the animations are good, and you know, it's a very lively, colorful environment. The only thing that I don't like watching is when lower tech units still kill higher tech units. You know, some people have more of a problem with it than others, but you know, when a knight on a horse whacks down a helicopter out of the sky, that just kind of bugs me a little bit. You know, otherwise the game so far has been terrific as far as combat goes. One of the other things you're going to have to worry about now that has never been in the game before is religion, which is a big, big change for the game and is a huge improvement as far as I'm concerned. You know, trying to get away from any controversy, there's 7 religions in the game and are completely interchangeable. They don't have specific advantages over others. They're just kind of there as something that you can found. Now, if you do found a religion, it's a huge plus because you can actually build a temple inside of one of your major cities that allows you to gain coin from everyone else in the entire world that has that religion. Every other city that has that religion can actually benefit you. One of the ideas that's definitely been reworked in Civ 4 is culture. Culture pretty much is the border around your civilization and around cities. So it's a colored border that you can see very easily on the map. And it expands every time that your culture expands through various stages. Culture is increased by adding new buildings, by creating wonders that actually promote culture, and lastly by some of these great people. Now, great people are also a gigantic addition to this. Eventually, like after a little while in building certain buildings, you'll get one of these great people just be born in one of your cities. And you take one of these great people and you move it to wherever you want to put them, and you create something. Like a great artist, for instance, will create a great work, which will give you 4,000 culture, which is, you know, I think the Civ team refers to it as a culture bomb. Because if you have a city right next door to another city with not a lot of culture and you drop that artist in there, it actually might surround that other city with your culture, meaning that that city might actually flip over to you in a little bit. So that's one way of actually promoting a kind of peaceful war on your neighbor if you don't want to actually go out and use martial force. And this actually goes into one of the biggest additions to Civ 4, and that's multiplayer. I know Civ 3 had multiplayer, but this time they actually built it from the ground up, and it shows. They've done a terrific job implementing everything in it. There's several different options. You know, there's still hot seat, there's play by email, but the best I think so far has been the simultaneous turns. You can get several people in this game, and you know, it uses a good front-end interface, lots and lots of options to go through. The games are easy to find and join. You know, games pause when a player accidentally drops back, and you can actually vote on whether to wait for them to come back in, or you can vote on to save the game and continue later, or save the game and continue playing. You know, so if somebody drops out and you want to continue playing, you still can. But you have the option, and it is majority rules. What also is good about that is if the server guy drops out, the person who was hosting, then the server actually changes over to another player. So you don't have to worry about your game being ruined. So Civ 4 is a great game, you know, great addition to the franchise. They've made a lot of changes that we think are terrific. You know, some people might have problems with them, but overall it's a fantastic game that's insanely addictive, enough that you just keep playing and you don't know what time it is. Thankfully, they did add a clock feature into the game, so you actually have it in the upper right-hand corner, along with an alarm. So if you do play it for too long, you can know when to stop. That's how addictive this game is, and I think all you Civ fans out there are going to have a hell of a good time with it.